Get ready. It's time for a well-deserved break, Pittsburgh, with Heather Abraham and David Highfield from the KDKA TV studios. It's Pittsburgh Today Live.
Yeah, we're celebrating 20 years, and we will be for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're
here
really
on PTL. We're milking it.
We are, for all it's worth, because there's been so much anticipation and excitement leading up to this. And in fact, that's kind of going to start our weekend rewind, because we have to tell you about our Friday, because it was amazing.
It really was. I mean, it was the moment that we walked out on stage, and you're thinking, this is really happening.
I think I said that to you. I said,
yeah,
can you believe they let us do this?
I know. It's like, wow. So our 20th anniversary celebration, it was at the Pittsburgh Playhouse downtown. We had so many wonderful guests, and we just want to thank everybody. Everybody who bought tickets. Some of the money raised goes to Children's Hospital, the Foundation's Free Care Fund, which is important to us, and we love that. But just a great night to celebrate. And look at you. You always leave it to you to pull the shenanigans. Let me try to lift David up.
Well, and as you're seeing, we had a lot of special guests, including some of the previous hosts, and our previous producer, Jill Neely, was there as well. I mean, we had a whole bunch of people who came to help us celebrate. And I want to just give a shout out to Heather Lang for taking some of these behind the scene pictures too.
She's great. She works here at the station behind the scenes. And this is the video. This is the moment. We have dancers.
Seen this.
I know. This is like, look at this. I mean, this was such an incredible moment. I mean, we're going to show you the whole show coming up Friday, May 10th, and then it'll air a couple other times too, but that's our actual anniversary date. But this is the moment where we walked out, and there was a big, like, you have to tune in to find out, like, what they did before we walked out, but just incredible. It was so electric to feel the audience participation there.
I had not seen that moment yet. I haven't seen any of this yet, because again, like, we were behind stage when obviously, and then we were living it as we walked out. So I didn't get to see that.
We were there. We saw what we saw, but we didn't see this. You know what? And here's the other thing. This is how you know you've made it. I mean, like, not that we made it, but
well,
like,
maybe.
But it was a moment. So, like, we're behind the scenes, and so there's the curtains, and there were, like, people back there stationed to pull the curtains apart for us. Like, we didn't have to find our way through in the dark or anything.
I will say,
I just thought, oh my gosh, all of people to help us.
The crew
Get out.
and the staff, the students, all at Point Park University and Pittsburgh Playhouse, they had this, like, calmness about this aura around them, where, I mean, I literally at one point I said, I think we need a smaller vase for this. And she goes, what color? And I said, vase? Like, I think we just need vase.
We're not picky about that. We just like, is this possible?
And 2 minutes
make
later,
it happen.
She made it happen. It was wild to see this, like, I don't know. We just live, TV is so instantaneous, and we're moving.
Right. We're kind of frantic. They had a calmness. Like, it's what you want your pilot to have when you're on a plane.
Yes.
They all had that calmness, and it was like, oh, wow. Like, this is so cool. We just had so much fun. And then we want to show you, we had so many special guests, but one of our, it was so incredible that Billy Porter, international superstar Billy Porter, agreed to come in to Pittsburgh, back to his hometown, to be on the show with us. And he performed, he sang. We interviewed him and he sang.
Also incredible that the dancers and Billy matched.
I know.
Not planned at all. We had no idea about their costume.
My gosh.
And he came out shining like a star, the star he is.
Oh, it was absolutely wonderful. We can't wait to share all of it with you, but it was a great, great night.
And we want to give a really big shout out to Slice on Broadway. We love Slice on Broadway. We order from them all the time, the location in Beachview. But they came in and fed everybody who was working on the show.
Everybody.
I mean, we had very little time to get ready in between the dress rehearsal and everything that was going on. And so it was so nice to have a quick slice to eat. And they really outdid themselves.
Oh, and they had sandwiches, and they had, like, pizza bites and all sorts of stuff.
And homemade ranch. So,
homemade ranch.
You know, that just makes everything better.
That makes everything better. It was a great night. And again, we want to tell you, this will air in the full hour, Friday, May 10th. That's our actual anniversary, but it's going to air a bunch of other times too. And then we have some bonus clips that we're going to air here on the show, so we'll share those with you as well.
All right, I want to tell you, after we had our big show on stage, a bunch of us went out after. We just wanted to kind of cheers and toast what we had all accomplished. So we took over one of the side patio rooms at Altavia, and I have to be, I'm just so grateful because they stayed open later than they should have.
Yes.
They allowed us to move tables around. Our waitress.
We totally messed up the restaurant.
We messed up everything. Our waitress, Fern, was so cool. At one point, I looked at her and I said, "Do you want us to leave?" And she was like, "No, you guys can hang out." She was totally cool.
And she meant it.
And
like
it
wasn't one of those like, "No, we don't want you to leave," but no.
But yeah.
She was like, and it was really
so sweet.
And we had a great time just sort of celebrating, and especially Krista and Teddy, who are our producers, who have put so much work into all of this. So it was anyway. Can you tell we had fun?
It was a great time. So shout out to Altavia too. My weekend did not slow down. I know yours didn't either, so we'll talk about that in just a second. But yesterday, I went up to Newcastle. There was a huge benefit for Arise. It's a women's shelter, and it helps women who are going through domestic violence and abuse situations. They just need a safe space to be. I got to call bingo.
I love that. Isn't that fun?
I had never done this before.
You have a lot of power when you call the bingo number.
Well,
that's what I've learned.
I sat next to Marianne, who has been calling bingo. You can see Marianne right there.
Okay.
She's been doing this for 12 years.
And
she really enjoys
it. Pro.
Yes, and she has like a team of helpers. I could not even believe it. David, you would have been so amazed because the helpers are out there. So if somebody says bingo, they have to yell out the code on the card. She can punch that into her system and it will verify that it is in fact the winner.
That's high tech.
But and I have pretty good hearing. Where I was sitting, they were yelling out these numbers, and what it sounded like to me was, it was like, "Can you?" And Marianne is typing it in.
Louder.
That's for bingo. How did she hear that?
Marianne has honed her hearing to be able to hear that.
I don't know if she's a good lip reader or what. I could not make out a single. In fact, I was like, I think she said 7-6. It was not 7-6. It was. Anyway, so that was great. It was a lot of fun, and I know that they raised a lot of money for Arise.
Well, that's
wonderful
really
to see.
important. It's so wonderful of you to go up to Newcastle for that.
So then I ran over to the softball field because Lila is back in gear, and she was really excited because they were working on pitching yesterday, and she is in 10U now. So they're doing fast pitch. So she is like working on her. I know, it's so scary as a parent.
She winds up. She does. Oh my gosh, look at this.
But as a parent, it's scary to watch them because they're getting big, but they're not in control yet.
Yeah.
Because they're all still learning the maneuvers and what to do. So every time there's like a smaller
Look at that,
kid.
though. That was good.
I know. There's a smaller kid up to bat. I'm like, oh God. But anyways, they were practicing, and practice makes perfect, so happy to see.
There you go. Yeah, I'm grown up, and still I would not be in control if I tried to do it.
See me. I'm just the audible parent on the side, like, oh, good, they're fine.
We need to call Ms. Abraham down. Yeah.
So tell me about the rest of your
you know what? So I went from like this wonderful night where we're on stage, and there are lights, and there are cameras, and and then the next day, Gary like lowers the boom, and he's like, "We're doing yard work."
He puts you to work. You think you're a star? Think again.
No, come on, let's get dirty. So we cleaned up the yard. We're trying to get ready. Maybe we're getting ready too early, but Gary has a special guest coming in, a former student who's like a Broadway star this Friday.
Yeah.
And so we want to try to get the house and the back deck ready if the weather's nice on Friday, Ron. But anyway, we planted all these flowers in all these pots, and we're cleaning up, and we're like gathering stuff up from the yard. And so it was Saturday, it was Sunday. You called me at one point on Saturday, and when you asked what was going on, and I was like, "Oh, thank you for calling. I needed
a break.
I needed an excuse to go inside."
Well, everybody asked where you were when I was at the event yesterday, and I said, well, if I had to guess, Gary probably has him gardening again because he was really at it on Friday or on Saturday.
I mean, but you know what? It feels good when you have it done, and now I just hope there's no more frosts or anything. We have
it's
sheets
going to be 84 today, so
I know, but you never know. Like early May, like weird
True.
things can happen. So I just don't know. But anyway, that was my weekend, and then there was this. So my phone, it always has an alarm set. Like, I always set an alarm, except Saturday morning. I did not set an alarm after our big Friday night. So my phone finally updated because there was no alarm set. Since then, it's been calling people on its own. I have been butt dialing. I called Gary 4 times. I called our friend Joe 2 times. I called you, and then you called me back. Did you mean to call me? And I was like, oh, no, I didn't. But I mean.
Do you ever, if somebody accidentally calls you, do you ever like listen in for a second?
Well, I listen in to see if someone's actually there.
So when you called me the first time.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
Hello? David?
What was
Hello?
I,
and then I could hear.
What was saying?
Well, I couldn't really make it out, but I was like, should I listen in? And then I hung up, and I was like, I'll just call him back and let him know he called me.
What's he doing? Well, you know what I was doing? You would have heard gardening.
Yeah.
You would have heard. It's not.
No,
gardening,
I'm not going to put that there.
Right.
No, I don't want to plant another daffodil.
This is way too heavy. That's what I would have said. Anyhow, I don't know what's up with this new update. I don't know if this is happening to anybody else, but like it has a mind of its own.
Well,
Why am I doing this now?
You probably just need to put, you have your lock on. I don't know.
I have a lock on.
Ron will help us.
Ron is our tech guru here, so he will help.
The other thing that's really exciting for a lot of you, maybe if you were at Kennywood this weekend because it was so nice out, did you bump into Jeremy Renner? Because we know that he's in town. And apparently, it was quite a deal at Kennywood.
Yeah, celebrity sighting, and everybody. I mean, he apparently posed for a lot of pictures.
Well, I wonder if he got to ride anything, because I've seen a lot of pictures. I wonder if you were a celebrity like that, would you go incognito?
I don't know. I've never even thought it. Would you? Yeah. I mean, I guess if you really want to enjoy, but you still would get recognized, right? Sure. People would still figure out with a hat and glasses, and they'd be like, it's Jeremy Renner.
Also, if you're Jeremy Renner, are you waiting in line anywhere? Like, he's probably not waiting in line.
What do you think, he has like a fast pass at Kennywood?
I'm just saying that, like, if I'm Kennywood, I'm going to be like, sir, come on, let's get you to the front of the line. Maybe.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Oh, okay, he did. All right. He rode the Phantom.
There you go. Oh, and we know these 2 little girls. These are actually part of a local Girl Scout troop. This is Skyla and Lila. I love that it rhymes. And you can see some more pictures of the troop there. And they found him as he was exiting the Phantom. So we can confirm he rode it.
Okay, good. I'm glad he got to ride something while he was there. And I think it speaks to his generosity that you see all these pictures.
And he's smiling at all of them. He doesn't seem bothered by it at all.
Well, I think he's just a nice guy. I think he's very down to earth. This picture is from our friend Melanie Taylor at 100.7 Star, and this is her friend that got to pose with him.
You know, if he was really nice, he'd let us come to the set.
Wow, maybe he just doesn't know. I mean, like, we're hoping that somehow he's watching and maybe he'll invite us. I don't know.
Maybe we should, you know what we should do? Maybe we should go to Kennywood and try and be incognito. Like, can we get like do you remember the old school glasses with the fake
mustache underneath? People would still be able to say that's Heather Abraham. I don't think that would work for you.
I think we should try it and just see what happens.
All right, we'll maybe try that someday. All right, hey.